What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing another request, the S21 Plus versus the A56. And I do have the A36 in the Moto G stylus. You guys have been putting that in the comments, and I do have a few other phones coming as well. So yeah, so let's go ahead and just hop into this one here. A lot of people are kind of like panicked, or I wouldn't say panic, but a lot of people are, since the S21 got its last major OS update, for some reason everyone is trying to like upgrade these phones. Guys, they still have security patches, and I think One UI 7 was significant enough where the software will still feel fresh. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from upgrading or anything like that. But yeah, these are two. The A56 has been a very solid buy this year. It's a mid-range phone that I actually really like. The only thing I don't like is that they took the SD card out of this A series here. But hardware wise, it looks great. IP68 dust and water resistant on both. Both of these look great. You can see the A56 now has a camera ring around it. And yeah, I don't have any issues with the hardware. It is kind of squared off on these edges, so they're not super sharp, but I think the S21 feels a little bit more comfortable to hold for me. And yeah, that's like the main difference with the hardware here, is that it's just a little bit squared off. As you guys can see, the S21 kind of has a little curve on the back, so when you're holding it, you kind of feel that curve. This is really A56 is really flat. Display on both of these phones are still pretty good. Now you do have a difference here. The A56 has the older display. It's a Super AMOLED display, 120 Hz HDR10 Plus. It does have a higher max brightness than the S21 Plus at 1900 nits. It's 1080p 385 for the PPI. We have the Victus Plus glass on here, and the bezels are actually a lot thicker as well on the A56 here. Now the S21 Plus has the newer dynamic AMOLED display. It's 120 Hz HDR10 Plus. This one only gets up to 1300 nits peak brightness, so it's not as bright outdoors. And it's a 6.7 inch 1080p display, 394 for the PPI, and it has the Gorilla Glass Victus. Colors look pretty identical. That's why I said the displays on these two look almost the same, pretty much. I would say that, yeah, the S21's display, it looks a lot, like, I guess, more aesthetically pleasing because the bezels look a lot better. But, I would say the colors are a little bit better on the S21 in some scenarios, but both displays largely look the same. The A56 display is honestly not bad at all. So yeah, so there's minimal difference here with the displays, and it actually does look a little bit brighter for sure outdoors. I do want to touch on software here. The software is not quite the same, so you do have One UI 7 on both of these phones, but with the A56, Samsung decided to give us some AI features. They call it intelligent features. So the object eraser, best face, custom filters, auto trim, AI select, read aloud. These are some intelligent features, but the A56 didn't get the actual like Galaxy AI features. But some of the stuff is here, and of course your circle to search is on both of these, and then the updated Gemini is also on both of these as well. So if you are interested in stuff like that, the object eraser, it's okay. It works perfectly fine. So you just hit that AI button and you could erase objects and remaster and stuff like that. But for the most part, it really depends on you as a user. So it just comes down to that, right? Let's see if we can erase this. See if it filled it in. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad, but as you guys can see, the back looks kind of crazy. So as I said, the AI stuff, to me, I never really use it because it's not really useful, but it does work better for like more realistic shots, like if you're at the beach and then you erase people out of the shots. It's more for stuff like that, but some other kind of harder things, the AI can't really fill it in. As far as software updates, the good thing about the A56, you actually get 6 major Android updates, which is nice. And like I said, the S21 Plus is on its last major OS update. This is the last major OS update. It's currently in security patches. As far as the processors go, performance has been really good on both of these phones throughout the years. I think the S21 series got a lot better actually as we got more updates, which is, you know, kind of rare because these older phones with updates like this, like a big update, you would think it will slow down and start to be glitchy, but these phones have actually gotten smoother, surprisingly. So we have on the A56 the Exynos processor, which is a, you know, rare for me. So it's the Exynos 1580, and you have 128 gigs. This version is 8 gigs of RAM. And then on the S21 we have the Snapdragon AAA version, which I'm not a huge fan of because it does, to me, heat up when you're doing like more intense stuff. Regular use is perfectly fine, but for more power, you know, heavier users, it tends to heat up a little bit. And I'm pretty sure the Exynos 2100 version of this is worse. This is also 128 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. And you guys can see the score difference here with, it looks like the S21 is a little bit better in the single core, and we do get a slightly better score in the multi-core on the A56. So we're getting pretty similar performance here. Let's check out a 3D Mark. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. The performance is gonna be, it's gonna be a minimal upgrade when it comes to performance. I would say if you're more of a power heavier user, you want to look in the used refurbished marketplace. I know people who are interested in the A56, they're looking for a new phone, but I would say just look in the used refurbished marketplace for like an S23 series phone, S23 Plus Ultra. Now a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I think it'll be worth it if you're an actual power user, right? Because the difference in performance is really not there. Let's try to open some apps and see what kind of speed we get. Animations look very good on both, which is very nice to see. That's 21 there. Okay, and the A56 does wobble quite a bit on the table for all my people who type on the table. Okay, we got really good animation consistency on both. Yeah, so like I said, guys, very similar performance. I'm pretty sure the performance is also similar when we come into games. I think the AAA might be a little bit better optimized here. Just got logged out. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's try to open PUBG. Yeah, so be sure to subscribe, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and also that bell button if you guys aren't seeing like the latest videos. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, it pops up on the home feed. So it just depends because YouTube is kind of weird. But if you're not, be sure to subscribe and all that stuff. Okay, A56 got in there. S21 right behind it. As far as your PUBG settings here, oh, we actually don't get 90 frames on the A56, so we do get 90 frames on the S21 Plus. I'm not really sure. It should be able to play 90 frames, but like I said, the Exynos processors maybe, or maybe they just, you know, didn't optimize it for the A56, because this should be able to at least do 90 frames. But you will find throughout a lot of games, the Snapdragon processor is just going to be better optimized for getting higher FPS. The downside with this is that, like I was saying, the S21, it heats up a little bit more than the A56. The A56 is actually relatively cool for the most part. I really have not had this phone really get warm or anything like that. And I've never had the S21, you know, stutter or anything like that. But like I said, doing more intense stuff, it'll definitely heat up a little bit more. So the cameras are pretty interesting. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about the image quality here. So the S21 has a 12 megapixel standard, 64 megapixel telephoto, and we can get up to 30 times zoom. We also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. You can shoot an AK-24 with a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. You have a 50 megapixel main on the A56, 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 5 megapixel macro. So we don't have any telephoto lens, so your zoom is going to be limited to around 10 times. We also do have a 4K 30 video, 12 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 30 as well. One of my favorite things about the A56 is actually the battery life. This phone has very good battery life and very good standby time, especially if you are a lighter user. I think you'll be very happy with the A56 screen on time. I think it easily can get through easily a day and a half with the battery life. The S21's battery life is not bad, but because of the chip, it doesn't do as good with standby time, I noticed. But yeah, I think the overall battery situation here, I think is actually better on the A56. Now there are some downsides here. The S21 Plus has wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. You don't have that on the A56, but it actually does charge faster at 45 watts versus the 25 watts. So it is, kind of noticeable. But I would say if you're thinking about making this upgrade here, it really comes down to the image quality. I think that's the big thing here. If you are not impressed with the camera upgrade, I would say do not upgrade, because the upgrade is not significant enough. And then we also do have, for power users, because the A56 is not as well optimized, you're not really gaining much as a power user, even though it is cooler. But just for regular day-to-day use, they both feel the same, right? The AI features are limited. So you guys get what I'm, saying here. It's a kind of a limited experience coming from the S21. You're not getting a full upgrade, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. You guys think I'm wrong?